What up? Today we're doing an oil cooler in a 2014 Town and Country. If you go get an oil change and they come back saying you have an oil leak, it's an oil cooler. It's my first time doing one, so we'll see what we can do, but it's under the intake manifold, so I'll show you what they're talking about. Under this junk somewhere, there's oil leaking. Grab a light. So I was looking at it. If you look down here, it's all wet. There's like a puddle down in there. See it right there? The oil. Ooh, looks like it might be a transmission leak or something. Unfortunately, it's not. It's gonna be an oil cooler under this guy right here. And we're gonna try to tackle it today. We'll see how long it takes me. It's actually part of this housing, I believe. Let's check out the parts. I used to work at a Chrysler dealer. You're gonna wanna get your gaskets for the intake, upper and lower. Don't be a hack. Replace that stuff. I got an oil cooler from the dealer just because I don't want to do it again. There's the part number for 2014. Let's open it up, see what we got. All right. There's the piece of shit we're replacing. It's got some sensors on it, the oil filter housing, and it's probably gonna be those O-rings that are leaking, but we're replacing the whole thing since we're going underneath the intake, not messing around or taking chances here. For that and your gaskets, run you about $300. Yes, I looked on Amazon. You can get the whole thing for like $120, but I don't believe it's a quality product. So I'm gonna go with this because I don't want to be doing it again. I think this vehicle has 45,000 miles on it, so it's not driven, hasn't been driven too much, but for 14. But anyway, we're gonna do it. Stay tuned. I'm gonna do a time lapse. We're gonna see how long it takes me, get back to my flat rate routes, see if I still got it. Here's the time. I'm starting. 10:30 a.m. Good time to cut in. Got the intake off. Took me approximately 15 minutes. Was messing around with some connections. Here's the lower intake. And we're trying to replace this guy that goes underneath. Stay tuned. The lower intake off. Look at all that junk. So here we have it. Probably should plug these holes with something so we don't get debris down in the valve train over here. I'm gonna take this out. Hardest part of this job is probably the injector clips. Anyway, we keep going. Good stopping point. I got the cooler out. Oh boy, what a mess. There's all oil in there that I gotta clean out. Here's the new guy. All these are coolant and oil galleys. So, oh boy, I don't have my suck pump because I'm at home. I don't have my primary tools because I'm at home. Flat rate can't wait method's not going to work here. I got to figure something out how to get all that oil out. I don't know. We'll see what we're going to do. One thing that I missed when I was doing this is on the oil cooler. These are inverted Torx. You're going to need an inverted Torx for this garbage. I was pulling up on it and I missed that one because it's behind. I couldn't see it, so I got the 1, 2, 3, 4. That little guy's hiding, so don't get frustrated. Keep pulling, don't come out. You missed the Torx. Anyway, thought it was a good stopping point. What time are we at now? 11:12, you know. We'll see what happens. We're gonna keep going. I'm gonna get that oil out. We'll see what we can do. Stay tuned. All right, good time to cut in here and check it out. So if you're doing this job, make sure you have some sort of suck pump because there was like 2 inches of oil and coolant down there. See those holes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All shit came out of those. Plug those so nothing goes inside. That's going into the intake or in the block actually. Make sure you blow out that hole, that hole, that hole, and the 2 over here, that one and that one, because your inverted Torx are going to go in there. You don't want any coolant or oil inside there. So I spent a good 20 something minutes cleaning this out. When you're ready to go, I had these holes plugged with paper towel. I pulled it out. When I cleaned everything, I blew in there with a blowgun as well, just to get anything out that could fall in. If I was you clean the hell out of this good. I use the razor blade, just lightly scrape it, you know, on a flat edge. I know Chrysler says not to do that, or Ford, or whoever I was trained by, but it's worked for a good 16, 20 years for me, and I don't scratch it. But look, this is what it should look like. Don't grind this shit or nothing. Just clean it, like get all the, I took it off, but for instance, like see here, like where the old O-ring is, just scrape that off so it's flush. There's no bumps, no raised bumps. Even on these holes down here. See how there's that brown ring here? Make sure you get, there's no like high levels. So just scrape them up real quick. I cleaned that whole galley out with brake clean, paper towels to soak it up. I actually sprayed a bunch of Simple Green in there, so when I start this thing up, it should smell pretty soapy. If it's someone you like, clean out the oil. If not, screw it, leave it in there. It's just gonna smell like hell. And they're gonna think they have an oil leak again. But prep goes a long way. I think I did a good job, quick clean on this. I mean, I know the valve covers and stuff have oil all over them. I got it all over my face. A couple of things I didn't point out in the first part is there's a coolant hose that goes to the cooler. This one over here. This one. It goes right there. Make sure you take this off here on the other end of the coolant hose and drain it out before you pull this whole thing off. Otherwise, you're gonna fill your block up with coolant when you pull this off, because it's all gonna leak. It's all full in there. I did that. I didn't mention it, but I did it. And also the fuel quick disconnect. I left my fuel rail and injectors in the intake. I disconnected this. Just a warning. You're gonna get spray wash in the face with fuel. I did, and it tastes good. Reminds me of making money. I like it. Anyway, this is the easy part, going back together. I'm gonna replace all these O-rings. 1, 2, 3, like this. These things come out real easy, you know. Just a little piece of shit like that. You probably could reuse them, but because where there's oil in there, they puff out and they leak. You don't want to misfire or something lean codes. So you're gonna replace those 6 and these 6. Okay? Clean it up nice. Do a good job. Don't be a hack. I'll cut in a minute when I'm putting it back together. Thanks. So torque down the intake before you tighten your bracket screws here. those 10 millimeters to the bracket, to the back and in the front. You can see the 10 millimeter right there. It's hiding. There's another one. There's two under the hose. Anyway, there's two by the throttle body over there. And yeah. I didn't use a torque wrench. Screw you with the torque wrench. These friggin' intakes have wood screws in them, for Christ's sakes. Just run them in. Don't snap them. Snug them up. All set. Getting close to starting her up and bleeding the coolant system. So right now it's just about 12:30. Not bad. A couple hours. Stay tuned. I'll get her running. Couple cycles of the key. Get the fuel pump supplying the injectors for the fuel. Fire it up. Whoa! Whoa! All set. She's alive. Check out your coolant leaks. Fill up your cooling system and bleed it. Make sure there's nothing leaking down there where you had it apart. I gotta wash the engine off because I like this person. And we'll fill her up. That about concludes it. So, you know, in 2 hours, we got it done. Not bad. I'm a little rusty, but if I was in front of my toolbox, I bet I could have did this in an hour and a half. And yeah, I don't know what you would do for charging somebody. That's a good 3-hour book job or so. I don't recommend a YouTube certified mechanic do this. It's not cut and dry, but give it a shot. If you watch this, you'll see some stuff. Yeah, this is not a basic replacement. You got a lot of stuff going on here, but anyway, write some comments if you'd like and subscribe. I'll catch you later. Peace.